You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel Trufant. What is going on, y'all?
Yo.
What's up, Kel? How are you?
Nothing much, man. It's been real cold here in Vegas. It's been in like the mid 30s.
Damn.
So it's been cold as shit. So just trying to get through this cold weather. We probably have maybe another, I don't know, like 4 weeks of it. Then after that, I'll start warming up. So just getting through the cold weather.
Same's happening in Seattle. It's supposed to drop to the 20s on Friday through the weekend.
Yeah, but it's been very warm.
Yeah.
Because normally at Christmas, it's like snowing and shit. And it's like close to 50 degrees and stuff like that. But I know, Kel, you look like you are ready for the nice weather to return with your silk on.
You like the silks, though? It was a nice little touch. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Bit of Hugh Hef with him.
Yeah.
All black, though.
He's a weirdo, but, you know, I just got to pull up on some fly shit. You feel me? Okay, anyway.
Damn it.
So you guys, look, I want to talk to you guys about emotions tonight. Especially, I guess, male emotions, because there's been some stuff that's been going around on the internet about emotions, especially male emotions. So my first question is, I want to ask you this directly, Jess, because I feel like you would know this. You're a woman, and I think you speaking for women would have a good answer to this. So why do you think women expect men to react to things emotionally the same way they do?
Because we're emotional. We don't expect men to act with the same intensity of emotion, but we do want to see some kind of emotion, especially for something that is deep or just that moves you, or something like that. We do want to see some emotion, and men should show emotion. You guys are human beings.
I think all that is true.
You.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to give my take. I thought it was both of us on this show. Maybe not. Take it away, Jessica.
He said he's going to ask me.
Okay. I thought you were done. You paused for 4.7 seconds.
Okay, go.
I was coming to rescue you. Nah, you got it, sister.
No, it's your go. I didn't know you were going to respond to it.
Kel
didn't say this question is for you, Jess, and then Marcus, I want you to answer.
Emotions in check. I'm going to let you go and finish your thought.
I know you're crying inside. All right, go.
No,
I'm done.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
You're bad.
All right, Marcus, what's your rebuttal? I know it's in there.
Men and emotions, and why women want men to, or why they may expect, right, for our emotions to parallel theirs. I think it's just an emotional response when women get caught up in their emotions, right? And there's and this is a little bit different from what you talked about. Of course, you want your man to have some emotions, but when emotions are heightened, right? And women especially get in a heightened emotional situation, a lot of things sometimes may go out the window if they don't have their emotions in check, right? And they may want or think that a man is supposed to be equal in that type of veracity of emotional intensity. Ooh. But that's not always the case, right? And sometimes that can leave a woman feeling like she's not being heard, or it's not a guy's maybe not paying attention, or he's not really affected by it. And that's not always true. Sometimes it can be true, but that's not always true. So that's my powerful
I'm glad you take
emotional
what you say and
response.
then pat yourself on the back that it's like
Yeah,
powerful.
I got you. Somebody got to do it.
But you're right. We want to know that you care, like you have any feeling about certain things or things that affect them deeply.
We just don't show it the same way, though.
Right.
So,
however, Kel, we do not want you to match our emotional intensity exact, because we can't have two motherfuckers crying and like just overwhelmed about everything. You guys are sitting there together holding hands and crying.
What's wrong with that?
Such a tough day. No, because somebody's got to snap the fuck out of it. So
that's real. That's so real. Like, Jess,
fair,
like,
but not fair.
Yeah, like, Jess, do you think, like, what is like the limit? Like, what is the limit that women want their men to show emotion when it, because like you said, it can be too much. So like, where is like the cutoff where it's like, okay, like he's acknowledged it, that was just enough?
That's the cutoff, is like, damn, oh man, just really just kind of going a little extra to show that even if you're fucking faking, that you get it. You care. You feel for them. You empathize for them. I don't know if you guys are great empathizers, but you empathize for them. But back to super emotional intensity on steroids. If something happened, like, I don't know, the car broke down or something, and if this man started crying hysterically, I would have to rethink some things. I'd be like, that was not warranted, that type of reaction. So it could, when you're that emotional as a dude, pause. Guys are supposed to express their emotions, but when you just downright cry over things that, whatever, I would kind of be like, whoa, I need to take a fucking step back.
So you're saying that there's
put your big girl or big guy pants.
There's this imaginary perfect line of emotional output that a man is supposed to have, not too much to where you're perceived as I don't know if this is safe to say in today's time, but perceived as, ladylike emotionally. Yeah. But not unmoved or robotic, right? There's a fine line.
Right.
What does that exactly look like?
There's
explain to us men exactly what that
line.
looks like, because it sounds like we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. As usual. Men.
For real. There is no line. It's, we want to see anything from you. Prime example is Marcus is probably the most emotionless person. Is that a word? Emotionless person that I know. We've been married. We've had a plethora of children, and he's been pretty unbothered by all that. What?
Tell me how you really feel.
Well, I don't know if we should share that story about when we renewed our vows.
Go ahead. I had a feeling this was coming. Anyway.
You knew it?
So, yeah.
So
go ahead, yeah.
We went to Jamaica to renew our vows, and we wrote personal vows to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get up there, and I am not one to cry in front of people, which I'm working on like feeling emotional intensity. Anyways, and I am crying, boo fucking hooing my eyes out.
In a good way.
To him.
Right.
Boo-hooing. Then it's his turn. he's like, well, we've been married, blah, blah, blah. And I knew you were the one and all this because we used to wear matching outfits. These are his fucking vows to me.
Hey, the renewal, right? So
It
if we had
doesn't
already
matter.
been together,
It's our chance to do
I had
it
already
again.
had you.
We
for
gave
10
scripted vows
years,
in a
right?
Catholic church. This was he told a story about how we wore matching fucking
That's how I knew.
jerseys.
And Air Force Ones. It was a beautiful time. It
I'm
was
just
early
like,
2000s, right? So
oh shit.
That was on point.
Time out. Maybe Jess, he valued that. Maybe those were
Right.
memories that were core memories of, you guys' relationship that he really, really valued that. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like some big, thing, but like maybe that, that's something that he wasn't used to doing. And he did that when he was with you. And he really valued that. Like for real.
Okay, I appreciate that, right? I get it. But to maybe somebody that might not know us, it came across as really like, how long have you guys been married? How long have you guys known each other? So, I mean, I'm not shitting on it.
You sure?
But I'm
Kind of watery shit, not
I'm
a full
passing
shit,
gas
but like
on it, right?
Slight
I'm passing gas. I'm not
diarrhea.
shitting on it. I'm farting.
Shart. That's the perfect term. So
to shart is to shit, to fart and
but not
shit
full,
comes out.
Okay, guys.
Girthy. Yeah. Sorry.
Jesus.
So
seriously, guys.
My my rebuttal or my not so much an excuse, but from my perspective, right?
What was your perspective?
This vow renewal, beautiful in Jamaica. Friends or family are there. My dad is doing the officiating. I'm in my white suit. I got the tank top on. The kids is all dressed up. Jess looks beautiful in her white outfit. We're on the beach, right?
And you talk about how we wore matching jerseys.
Right, but I'm in the fun, loving mood. I was not to say if you're crying, you're down in the dumps, but I was happy. I was excited. I wanted this to be kind of lighthearted, and my vows weren't cry type of vows. That's how I was feeling. I was excited. I was good. So that was my energy to tell some fun stories and kind of just have fun with it, right?
But
and
Marcus,
that was my perspective, and that's where
this wasn't a roast. This wasn't a funeral. This wasn't a toast. This was renewing our vows.
Right.
Like flowers. How many people were there?
It didn't matter to me.
And it was,
again, I'm not so
this
much.
This is why we're on two different
crowd, etc.
It wasn't for the crowd. This was for you. You think I was crying for the crowd?
I wanted to make sure that we were good. But you're talking about how people may have perceived this and what people may have thought.
I had to think about all those things.
Why?
Because I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, nah. So if I
I was like,
if I embarrassed you with my lack of emotions at the time, that's probably what really the trigger was.
It did make me a bit uncomfortable after I boo fucking who, and then he gets up and goes,
because
we had matching
you don't cry and do all
on.
that, right? And your expectation was, even though they were my vows, what I was thinking, what I wanted to put out, it wasn't exactly what you had planned for me to say, or the script.
I shouldn't have had, I shouldn't have had any expectations. You're right.
Not in that way.
I just figured it was going to be like you were going to tell me how much you really, truly love me and how you were so thankful. And I did
say some of that. You're acting like that's the only story I told. I don't really remember the other stuff that I said either.
Well, I used to remember it. I did remember it at one point, but the only thing that sticks is the jerseys because I almost died. I'm like, what? Okay. Just stand there and smile at him. Like, oh God. That's what I mean to you. Fucking matching jerseys.
I learned something like a long time ago that like when it comes to wedding vows and weddings and renewing your vows, the only people that are going to remember it are the people that are involved, right? So maybe his vows wasn't to what, your standard of, or not standard, but what you were expecting, Jess. But
yes.
like I said, like, those are memories that seem like they're key core relationship memories to him. And being in the fun-loving mood, renewing your vows in Jamaica, a little more relaxed environment. Like, I'm not trying to defend his behavior.
I was like,
I was just about to say,
thank you, Kel.
Kel is trying to clean this up for me. But to be honest,
it is what it is, though.
Yeah, to be honest, it is what it is. And I take back the way you felt about it. It doesn't change how I felt at the time about the woman and how I feel about this woman now. So, I mean, was it perfect?
I felt like that was your time because he's not outwardly emotional, and I didn't expect this dude to cry. I know
a lot
this man
of
doesn't
expectation,
cry.
and that
actually,
was my time.
He did cry on that trip, but it wasn't about me. Remember, it was the FOMO,
and then I missed the event.
Right.
Got a little too excited.
The butt crack story. I remember this.
Vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to explain that, though, Kel. You just can't say the butt crack story.
Didn't we talk about this?
I know, but Kel just saying the butt crack story, and then I kind of left it at that. Yeah.
The story when he was completely fucking drunk.
Party.
And I could not wake him up.
It was a vacation.
I told him I'm leaving. We had this whole evening planned with everybody that was there. We ate and then we went out and did all this kind of stuff. And I tried to wake him up. He told me he didn't care that I could just go. So I had no choice but to leave. We have people in town. Then 2 people try to go bang and knock down the door pretty much to get him to wake up. He did not wake up. I go, I'm really sad, but you know what? I really pulled it together and I danced with myself and had a good time. And when I get back into the room, he wakes up and he's like, is it time to go? I'm like, oh, honey, it's 3 a.m. You missed everything. And that got him right there.
So
not our 10 years of marriage, but missing a fucking evening.
This is my take then. So you got these strong ass vows, right, in front of everybody. But
because I meant it. Because
you meant it, but like this event and the experience is what I'm more concerned about.
This is part of the experience. This was why we were there.
It's just so easy for you to get up and just leave me underneath the stairs or bridge, pretty much.
What do you mean? I left you?
Yeah.
When?
You left me in the room, is what I'm saying. I was drunk, of course. But
you told me to go.
I don't remember
that you were not.
part.
I'm getting dressed, and I'm like, Marcus, I'm getting dressed. I was like, Marcus, I'm getting my purse.
Your emotions should have kicked in.
Marcus.
Your emotions should have kicked in, and you should have.
And your brother and your cousin tried to get to you too. So do not blame me. I tried. I was so disappointed. Like it was like our first night there, maybe our second night. And
he blew his load the first night.
So for the people, you were disappointed in the vows.
Yes.
Then you was disappointed in that night.
That was before the vows, though.
How long did we stay there? I can't remember.
I can't. I don't know.
Right. So what you're saying, emotionally speaking, was the trip, or was the whole thing a success, or was it like 50% or more on the 25%?
I think it was
scale?
A total success. You just fucked up a couple times, and that is okay.
I know it's okay. I know that, but
Well, then why are you still questioning me?
because I'm asking you what you think.
Well, I already told you.
You know, men and women are different. So what was your
I know. I told you sucked.
take on the experience?
I had so much fun.
Okay.
I enjoyed going out by myself.
Okay.
You jerk. No, it was a good ass time. I can tell you that. Okay, Kel, carry on. We just did.
No, that's good
No,
stuff.
that's
though.
okay.
That's
That is
good to
okay.
know.
No, that is okay. It shows.
But I got some emotion out though, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I felt like I let the crew down. I let my wife down.
Okay, you said the crew first.
Oh, Jessica,
Well.
you're being nitpicky now.
No.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, she is, but
no, I like when you guys talk about the story of your wedding vows because I feel like it's something that kind of low key, like bothered you guys. Like it bothered you, Jess, for sure. And then Marcus, I don't know, you haven't forgot about it, and we've revisited that story like twice. Like it's almost one of those things where it's like you go tell that story to like a therapist, you know.
And you know what though?
No.
I know for me, sometimes it takes a situation in order for me to really realize, right? Because I'm not as in touch with my emotions as I'm not even gonna say as I should be, but I'm just not, right? I'm not wired like that. I'm more Jason Bourne like, right? And you put me in a situation and I remain calm in every situation, right? And that's kind of how I was bred through sports, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, sometimes it takes a situation that I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it's supposed to go. That's how other people feel about this, and kind of step outside of my body, right? To really kind of understand what's going on in the world, right?
That writing vows is more than we had matching jerseys.
It was more than that, but maybe it wasn't.
I don't know.
Maybe it didn't come off.
It didn't translate
like that. So, yeah. Do I apologize?
Yeah.
No.
You better.
No, I don't necessarily. It didn't for me, or maybe you felt like you had to put everything into your vows. Like you had never told me ever in our 10 years of marriage previous to that things were a certain way and you felt a certain way about me, right? I didn't feel like the vows were the tell-all be-all of our relationship up to that point.
It is the tell-all be-all. It's 10 years of that.
That didn't mean right there in that moment was the only opportunity or chance I had.
It was reflecting on our relationship.
Okay.
And how
much fun we have together and doing a bunch of silly shit is
right. But you can also say other things. I'm telling you, it Did
anybody else say this to you too? Or did you get some feedback from the peanut gallery?
Well,
maybe you did. And
I'm not
I know
the only one.
Who you're gonna.
I'm not even gonna say.
I already know.
I'm not even gonna say it. But we laughed. It became kind of funny. It was like
not to you though, kind of traumatic. And
after we laughed, and it was like, did this dude really
Negro
say the things that he said?
Yeah. Well.
And did you make me do a turn? I can't remember. Oh, this fine. Like some shit.
Hey,
I'm like,
sounds like a damn good time to me.
Okay.
Sounds like a damn good time.
Okay.
You missed out. I had a good time.
But you know what? About bringing it back to emotional men, Marcus, he doesn't necessarily, especially when it comes to me or the kids, I know that he is emotional about that. I know that. I know it's in there. I know he has those feelings, and he does other things to show that he really deeply loves and cares for me and is affected by situations. He doesn't necessarily have to cry about it, but he expresses his feelings. I mean, you might not actually feel them, but I know where his heart is at. So
that day, I guess I can just say my pen game wasn't that strong. What I had
we
planned,
took our time and wrote those vows
I don't think I did
on the plane.
Okay, maybe I didn't write as much as you.
Okay, well then you did not. He literally treated this as a fun trip where he's gonna trip out on innocent people and then come with his pants unbuckled and his shirt off and miss Portland. Yeah, okay.
So that wasn't
the dick root. I forgot about the dick root because his pants was unbuttoned. And it was, I remember I said, Jess, could you see his dick root? Pause. And you were like, yeah, almost. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
It was so low. I was so embarrassed.
Not true. Prove it.
That's so funny. Do you think though too, like, I know Marcus, you said because of like sports and stuff like that, like you react to things a certain way, but at the same time, like, you're a man, and men, we are wired to be more logic than emotional. And I think that's the thing that balances out the relationship between men and women, is that women are more emotional, we're more logic, and we come together to balance each other out. So like, I feel like you have emotions, obviously, because you're a human being and you're not a freaking psychopath or a sociopath,
Right.
But do you think that part of that too is just how you're wired? Because like, I'm the same way. I mean, I can be emotional, I guess, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and like watch The Notebook and start crying. Like I'm not gonna do that,
Right. Yeah.
Neither am I.
I think that's just my makeup, right? And that's where I'm at. And I don't know, but just like you said, not having the reps or the not that I say the proper teachings, but boys, men, as kids, as you grow up, you as a boy, a tough boy that's supposed to be dirty, and
that's exactly what I was
kids that aren't supposed to cry and all that kind of stuff. You don't really fully learn how to deal with that. Yeah. So I was a late bloomer, and like I said, sometimes it takes situations and maybe things to happen to be like, okay, maybe I could have handled that a little bit differently, because this is how other people may look at this. Of course, I got emotions, just like you said, right. Kale and Jess, they're in there, but if I don't express them properly, then it can look a certain way.
Right. I was about to say real quick, I feel like you're going to jump in, Jess. I don't want to interrupt, but do you think that's like two separate things? Do you think that like one is, showing emotion, but the other one is not caring for other people's emotions? Because I feel like that is more of like not showing empathy and not caring for other people's emotions. And so having that toxic like environment of, well, you shouldn't care about, you should just, like, I feel like that's a little different than just not being emotional. Does that make sense?
It does. And maybe that's not so much what I was talking about, though. Not caring about other people's emotions and not being aware of how you're affecting others emotionally, maybe, right? By me not expressing emotions properly, that could affect others a certain way, right? And just not being aware of that. So not that you don't care, but you just don't know, right?
Yes. I think they, like you said, they could be two separate issues, but they can go hand in hand, because to have empathy or understand somebody's emotions, you really have to understand your own and tap into your own and know how to feel emotions, and not all the time, but just be emotional from time to time. So I think it's hard for you to relate to others' emotions when you don't even understand your own.
Maybe.
Also, bringing it back to what you were saying before, I do believe boys and their emotions, it's part nature, part nurture. You're hardwired, but also like you said, boys are sissies when they cry. It's not cool to cry, be a man, toughen up, blah, blah, blah. So you learn to hold your emotions in. And I think it carries over to football because you almost, even though it's a different time now, everybody's crying. But you almost got to kind of hold your emotions in, right? You just can't be on the field crying and
As a young boy, you kind of go through that phase. I was one of those kids. You get so caught up in the game, right? And this is winning or losing, or if things are going good or going bad, you kind of can't really control that. It's an aggressive sport, so you have to be aggressive, and your emotions are all over the place, right?
Right.
All right, I got to go attack. I got to hit before I get hit. I got to kill before I get killed.
Right.
Type of energy. So
I was carrying it on to professional.
Oh, okay. But football. I think it goes back to when you're a kid too, though.
Right.
All together, because you're just learning and the shit's all out of whack as a growing boy.
Well, I know one thing that I want to wrap up with this is that I always recommend people to get a couple good cries in a year because, we walk around in our day-to-day lives with so much stress. There's so much we have to keep up with. And sometimes it just gets overwhelming. And sometimes we just don't know what to do with that or where to put that. And sometimes you got to just cry, not in a sense of sadness, but crying for fucking stress relief. Like, just have a good ass cry and just get all those emotions out. And then you're like, all right, whew, okay. I put down that bag of bricks. Now I can walk away from that bag of bricks that I've been carrying around and I can go on with my life, so.
Absolutely, Kel. What is it? Crying tears is like stress leaving the body. Because like you said, you have to place it somewhere else or else it will be displaced and manifest in other things, right? Especially for men, when you guys hold all that emotion in and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of why men have a lower life expectancy rate, just because they hold all that stress and that tension in, and it leads to, physical issues and all that kind of stuff. So I do agree that you should have a good cry and just like really, really cry. And like I was saying earlier, feel your emotions. When you feel it here and here, you better let some fucking tears out because it needs to happen.
Right. My only thing I want to say to what both you guys said about you got to let it out, have a good cry. What you said earlier, Jess, about if you were with me and I was crying because the car broke down and all this kind of stuff, there's a what would I call it? In pop culture, it's still a thing. If you're a man, you can't cry and go through all these emotions and all this different stuff, right? Now, of course, it's becoming more acceptable. But even with that, women, you got to be careful what you ask for sometimes. If a man is emotional and is able to just kind of tell you like it is every time, and maybe even tell you about yourself sometime and let those emotions out, that could be a bad situation if both people are really at 10 and just letting all those emotions fly, right? So it could be a better situation, but I don't think it can always be a good situation. And I guess that's more of a situation if people's emotions are out of control. And you can show your emotions, but still have control over them.
Right. You don't have to get emotional when you're telling somebody about themselves or something like that.
It could easily happen, though.
In
the heat of emotions.
Well, that's when you just need to know how to manage your emotions at that point.
That
If you're gonna
too.
if you're just lashing out because you don't know how to like
You
keep
gotta
your
let it
shit in
out.
check.
You gotta let it
Yeah,
out, right?
yeah, but there's a time and place for all that, and that's when you need. That's when as a man, that's when the logic comes in, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this over here. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't
Right.
just lash out on people. Like I don't know. It's not an excuse, I guess, to lash out at people. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
So
Kel, do you have 2 to 3 good cries a year?
absolutely. Are you kidding me? Hell
Does it
yeah.
have to be a major event, funeral, or something like that, or is it just something?
No, sometimes like when I'm like, because I've had, but it's gotten better. But I've had like bad anxiety, and so like to sometimes when I get like really really overwhelmed, it's like
Yeah.
I need to go handle this because this is going to be too much, and I'm going to lash out. I'm going to yell at somebody. I'm going to do something that I'm going to have to go and apologize for later. So just go and get that shit out. I'm a Cancer. I have absolutely no problem fucking crying. Like
Your dad.
if I gotta
he cried.
get it, yeah, if I gotta get it out, I'm gonna get it out. And I don't let that doesn't, judge my masculinity or make it that I'm not masculine or I'm not a man or I'm not a dude. Fuck that. No one else has to live in my skin and no one else is gonna have to walk around with my goddamn stress. So
Yeah.
I'm getting that shit out because I don't want to walk around with that shit. So
Is a lash out, could that be equal to a good cry if you just kind of let stuff out?
No,
that's
even if you have to apologize.
No, Marcus,
right?
that's displaced emotions. Like
Right.
you're just I'm going in on everybody.
Right.
You know?
You're
and
spewing.
you're spewing. Yeah, that's exactly
I
you're
don't know.
spewing. That's,
I don't know if
that's
I
exactly
agree.
what that is.
I don't know.
No, Marcus, that wouldn't be considered as you being emotional. That would be considered as you being like angry and psycho. Oh, he's yelling and talking all this shit because he's emotional right now.
Yeah,
You're not a baby.
it happens.
That's what babies do.
Tomato.
But as an adult, like you know better, right? So like you have to have better control of your emotions. Now that's something that you would expect from like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old. But when you're 40-some-year-old adult, like, and you're just going in on people, like people are gonna look at you and be like, "Hey, homie, like you've been on this planet for some time now. You ain't got that in check yet."
That's what apologies are for. And I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you slap people across their face and you cuss people out, but yelling doesn't necessarily mean wrong in all situations.
Yelling sometimes is like spanking. It's showing that you don't have control of your emotions.
Sometimes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sometimes.
You like that one, Jess?
Yes.
I like that one too. I like that,
but I yell all the time, but it's so I don't karate chop my kids in the fucking throat. Right? So I choose to yell and they don't give a fuck when I yell. They don't care at all. They're just like, "Oh, she's yelling and cussing again. So let's just laugh at her. Let's just keep doing what the fuck we're doing." So, yeah.
See, now that's fucked up when your own kids are like, "Oh, she's just over there talking." Oh,
yeah,
I'd be
much
pissed. I'd be pissed if my kids reacted to me like that. I'd be so mad.
Or they kind of react like they're really like listening and then they're not.
2 minutes later, they're doing the same thing.
They're not. They're just not listening. They're just like, "Shut up, mom." So, yeah.
Well, this was a good talk, guys. Good discussion.
I agree. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I learned a lot today.
You know what, Kel? I can guarantee you that he's going to be fucking salty about the Jamaica thing, about the vow thing. I can see it in his face. I can see it. I could see it in his response. I know you.
No. You.
Now, if you knew me, you wouldn't have written about basketball jerseys.
Yeah, I'll keep my emotions in check and I won't yell over this microphone. I'll be a grown up, right?
I could tell.
God damn it. Maybe I like the jerseys. Maybe I liked matching.
Hey, after the camera go off, I'm gonna flip the microphones and kick the cameras down.
You secretly want to do
You're gonna
that.
have to clean it up, Dylan. My bad.
Oh shit. Truly Unruly, y'all. Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. Remember, follow these guys on social media at Marcus_Trufant and Jessica_Trufant. And follow the Truly Unruly page on all things social at Truly Unruly_podcast. And of course, if you want us to answer any of your questions live on air, just email us trulyunrulypodcast@gmail.com. And of course, like and subscribe on your favorite podcast player and catch the visual on YouTube and catch us every Sunday on Converge. Boom. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace
Yeah.
and much love.